After understanding that evil is just a fleeting shadow cast by the ego, blocking the eternal good, and recognizing that the world reflects who we truly are, we can now rise steadily to a level of awareness where we see and comprehend the true law of life. With this understanding, we realize that everything operates under an unbroken chain of cause and effect, and nothing escapes the reach of this law. From the smallest thought or action to the movements of the stars, law rules over everything. No random event can exist, as such an event would contradict and destroy law itself. Every condition in life is connected in a harmonious sequence, and the cause of each situation is found within itself. The principle of whatever you sow, you will also reap is written across the fabric of eternity, and no one can deny it, cheat it, or avoid it. If you place your hand in fire, you will feel the burn until the effect has passed, and no amount of cursing or praying will change that. The same law applies to the mind. Hatred, jealousy, envy, lust, and greed are like fires that burn, and anyone who engages with them will suffer the pain of their consequences. These mental states are called evil because they are the soul's misguided attempt to break the law. They lead to chaos within and manifest outwardly as disease, failure, and misfortune, accompanied by sorrow and despair. On the other hand, love, gentleness, goodwill, and purity are like cool breezes that bring peace to the soul. These qualities align with the eternal law, manifesting as health, harmony, and success. A deep understanding of this universal law brings the mindset of obedience. Knowing that justice, harmony, and love govern the universe also teaches us that all suffering comes from our disobedience to this law. This knowledge brings strength and power, and only through it can a truly successful and happy life be built. Being patient in all situations and accepting every circumstance as part of your growth allows you to rise above pain and overcome it completely, with no fear of its return. By obeying the law, you conquer these hardships forever. The source of both power and weakness lies within, just as the secret of happiness and misery is found within. Progress cannot happen without inner growth, and true prosperity or peace can only come from orderly advancement in knowledge. You may feel trapped by your circumstances and cry out for better opportunities, greater freedom, or improved living conditions. You may even curse fate for your struggles. But this message is for you. Hear these words and take them to heart, for they are truth. You can change your outer life for the better if you commit to improving your inner self. I know this path may seem difficult at first. Truth often does, while error seems enticing. But if you walk it and discipline your mind by eliminating your weaknesses, you'll be amazed at the changes in your life. As you grow, new opportunities will appear, and you will have the wisdom to take advantage of them. Friends and supportive people will be drawn to you, and the resources you need will come to you without. If poverty and loneliness weigh heavily on you, and you long for relief but find only deepening darkness, perhaps you blame others, your birth, parents, employer, or even fate itself. Stop blaming external forces, for they are not the cause of your struggles. The cause is within you, and so is the remedy. The very fact that you complain shows that you deserve your current situation and lack the faith necessary for progress. Complaining has no place in a universe governed by law, and worry is self-destruction. By your attitude, you strengthen the chains that bind you and create the darkness that surrounds you. Change your mindset, and your life will change too. Develop yourself through faith and knowledge, and make yourself worthy of better circumstances. First, ensure you're making the most of what you already have. Don't deceive yourself into thinking you can gain greater things while neglecting smaller ones, for if you do, whatever you gain will be short-lived, and you'll soon fall back to learn the lesson you missed. Like a student must master one level before advancing, you must wisely use what you already have before receiving more. The parable of the talents illustrates this. If we misuse or neglect what we possess, No matter how small, it will be taken from us, proving we were unworthy of it. If you live in a small, humble home and are surrounded by unpleasant influences, but desire a better environment, first, make your current home a little paradise. Keep it clean and cheerful. Make the most of your limited resources. If you can't afford luxury, make up for it with smiles and kindness, for they will never fade. By uplifting your current surroundings, you rise above them, and when the time is right, you'll step into the better home and environment that has been waiting for you, one you've prepared yourself to enjoy. If you long for more time to think and work, but feel overwhelmed by long hours, first, make sure you're using your spare time wisely. Keep it clean and cheerful. Make the most of your limited resources. If you can't afford luxury, make up for it with smiles and kindness, for they will never fade. By uplifting your current surroundings, you rise above them, and when the time is right, you'll step into the better home and environment that has been waiting for you, one you've prepared yourself to enjoy. If you long for more time to think and work, but feel overwhelmed by long hours, first, make sure you're using your spare time wisely. There's no point in wishing for more time if you're already wasting the little you have. If you were given more, you might only become more lazy and indifferent. Even poverty and lack of time aren't the obstacles you think they are. If they hinder you, it's because you've allowed your weaknesses to transform them into obstacles. Understand that as you shape your mind, you shape your destiny. As you discipline yourself, you'll realize that what you once saw as difficulties can be transformed into blessings. You'll then use poverty to cultivate patience, hope, and courage, and you'll turn lack of time into promptness and decisiveness by seizing every moment as an opportunity. Like beautiful flowers grow in the poorest soil, so too do the finest human qualities flourish under challenging circumstances. Where there are difficulties, virtue shines brightest. If you work for a harsh employer, look at it as part of your training. Return unkindness with patience and self-control. Use the experience to build mental and spiritual strength, and by setting an example, you may help your employer change while elevating yourself to new, more suitable opportunities when they arise. Don't think of yourself as a victim of slavery, but rise above it through noble conduct. Before claiming to be enslaved by others, ensure you are not enslaved by your own ego. Look within yourself, examine your desires and habits, and break free from any thoughts or behaviors that keep you in bondage. When you conquer these internal chains, no one can oppress you. By overcoming yourself, you'll overcome every difficulty, and all obstacles will disappear before you. Stop blaming the rich for your struggles. Are you sure you wouldn't become an oppressor if you gained wealth? Remember the eternal law. Those who oppress will one day be oppressed, and no one can escape this truth. Perhaps in a past life, you were wealthy and oppressed others, and now you're paying off that karmic debt. Practice patience and faith. Focus on the eternal principles of justice and goodness, rising above personal grievances. Recognize that no one can truly harm you except yourself. Self-pity is degrading and soul-destroying, so cast it out. While you hold on to self-pity, you cannot grow into a fuller life. Stop condemning others and start holding yourself to the highest standard of purity and goodness. By doing this, you'll build your life on a solid foundation, and everything you need for happiness will come to you in time. There's no way to rise above poverty or other difficulties unless you eradicate the selfish and negative conditions within you, which are reflected in your outer life. True riches come from enriching the soul with virtue.